What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be installing coilovers in my 06 350Z. So here I have Rev9 Hyper Street coilovers. These are a middle of the road eBay coilover. They were $550 Canadian shipped to my door. So middle of the road. I'm gonna get the car set up. Eventually I'm gonna go the BC route, but these are gonna do for the time being, considering I'm buying a house, going to school. This is what's going on the car. So I'm just gonna sell these when I'm done with them. But we're gonna do a really in-depth product review. And then here, I'm doing the True Coilover style. So I needed rear tow arms to delete the spring buckets. So here we have GodSpeed rear tow arms. These were $200 Canadian shipped to my door from eBay. And let's see what we're working with. These appear to be of exceptional quality. The welds look okay. Then again, I didn't go with top tier products and the highest of quality, but they look good. The price reflects the product, which is important to keep in mind when you're buying parts. When you buy middle of the road, you can't expect the best. But these look good. They're sturdy. That's the most important thing. If they don't have incredibly beautiful looking welds, that's okay, as long as they're good welds. So those are the tow arms. Let's take a look at the coilovers.
In the drawer behind you. It's in the drawer.
All right, now let's take a look at these coilovers. I'm excited. This car's gonna be loaded. I'm not going for dummy low. I'm going for a proper track setup, I guess you could consider it. It's not gonna be cambered out. It's not gonna be insanely low. I just want something that works well, easy cooling. Ta-da! Nice. So there again, we have 4 true coilovers. No spring buckets, because we're getting rid of those. There's coilover wrenches. Rev your 350. Make it shoot flames. Let's see. One thing I'm looking for in here is the dampening adjustment arms. They need to go through the top of the rear strut brace. There's a loose nut in this bag. I'm not taking that out. And I don't see them. So that might be something that I have to get because all these have tops on them. So in order to efficiently adjust the compression ratio for the 350s, there's normally an extender rod that you have to put into this, and it comes into the interior of the car and comes out the top of the plastic trim that covers the strut brace in the back. So I'm gonna have to get these set up probably somewhere in the middle, maybe a little bit on the stiffer side, because in order to adjust them after the fact, I believe you have to actually drop the coilover, which is very inconvenient. I wanna be able to just fine tune this car, but we went middle of the road. This is what you get. What up? Right up. If this was NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt would have fired me by now. I would have been donezo. There's still a nut in there. That's what I tell myself every night. Oh, okay, so yeah, we're just gonna sawzall this, chop the roof off. She's good. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I've never done research on how to put coilovers on this car, but just by looking at it, I can tell you how to do it. So you're gonna wanna take this brake line off. You're then going to want to take the lower strut bolt out. Get rid of that. You don't need that. Take this sway bar link off. That's gonna allow this to drop further. And it's gonna drop further because you gotta undo the upper ball joint. And then once you get that done, then pop the hood in the car. And this is my opinion on order of operations here, but keep it bolted up to the top. Then go in, take the strut brace off, then undo the upper strut mount pillow ball nuts. Then it'll drop right out. Instead of having a loose strut on the top side, just flopping around while you're working in there, just do that last and just zip those 3 nuts. Have a buddy here, like Niko. Rock star. You're gonna see lots of him. And his 280. He's gonna have his own channel though, so you'll have to check that out on his own terms.
Maybe.
He's gonna have his own channel.
Guess I don't have a choice then.
So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We might show you a few things, but we're not doing a full-on DIY here. I'll give you a rough explanation, but you're gonna watch this car go together fairly quick.
Have you ever put coilovers on a car?
I've never installed coilovers.
Really? I have. You wanna know something you missed?
What?
Sensor right there. And right there as well.
Oh, well, that's common sense. I lied. Don't listen to anything I say. Just watch me work because you'll get entertainment out of good results or screw ups. Both are fun for you, but you don't need to take off this little bolt here. So, I mean, nothing detrimental, but I mean, if I told you to put your intake valves on your exhaust, would you do it? Probably not. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt and enjoy.
You weren't actually too far off. You don't have to take this one off, but there is one back here that you do need to take off. So you weren't wrong, just wrong bolt. So maybe do listen to you.
I have Brembos.
They're dirty though.
I scratched them.
You did.
That's, I was test fitting my new wheels. Ooh, did I say that out loud?
Ooh. Some sketchy mechanics trying to get the sway bar end link out.
Oh yeah, big time. So there's a lot of tension and pressure on these. So get a floor jack underneath your lower ball joint and get as much pressure on there as you can and put the nut on when you hit it so you don't mess up your threads. And cut to the part where I start hitting the right bolt. So like I said, listen to me, but don't listen to me. So you don't have to floor jack anything up. We spent probably half an hour trying to figure out how to get this sway bar link out. We had the car jacked up on the lower ball joint.
It was like this side was up in the air and that side of the car was touching.
And Nico's like reefing on the sway bar and I'm like hitting it with a hammer and we were like, okay, screw it. If we have to do it, we'll take it out later, we'll figure it out. So we lower the car down and I could just see the look in Nico's eyes. He just goes in to wiggle it and it's loose. I was like, aww. Yeah. So listen to me, but don't.
You look so funny down there. It's just like rotor.
How about now?
I have never seen that in my life. The inside of it is clean. What? That's the thing. Backstory, this car is from Florida.
We're not. We're used to bolts looking like cauliflower.
Yes.
That would be the most accurate comparison.
I was arguing saying, no, we can just get it out. It won't be that big deal.
I was like, Niko, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. But he didn't get what I was saying. And I cracked it loose and I just zipped it off and it fell apart and he was just like, mad.
Yes, accurate representation. So now the 3 at the top, that bolt over there for the brake line and then pull it out.
Yep.
Very easy.
Pull out, unlike you.
Can confirm.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Maybe take that off. It's a little safer. The only reason we did decide to finally actually take it off is not only just to mess with you guys, but no, I'm just kidding. To have a little bit more slack in your brake line, it's a good idea. Like these are braided, but why not? You don't want to break shit, so give it some more room to breathe. You are going to want to take the strut brace off. So you got
3 bolts.
3 bolts, 1 nut right here. What size are they, Nico?
14s.
14s?
14s.
And then underneath that is where your upper strut mount is. M's.
What's the next step?
12 mm's, 12 M&Ms.
12 M&Ms.
12 M&Ms, and you can do your coilovers. Oh wow, that's loose.
That's what he said.
That was slightly on an angle. I would recommend an extension unless you're skilled like myself. That almost fell onto my foot. Good thing the lower control arm here is, as Billy Withers once said, like a helping friend. Oh, step bro. Ooh.
Are you
Capable? Yes.
sure?
Nico! Hang on, I got this. I got this. I got this. This might not be the right way. Maybe there's a better way, but you're pressuring me with the camera.
Good.
I got this. The sensor, the wire. Oh God.
Oh, Jeebus.
I got it.
Now, it's probably not the best way to do it, but it works.
Okay, so now that we're ready to start bolting coilovers in the car, I'm gonna give you a quick explanation on preload settings for the spring before you install it in the car. This is the only thing that you really need to check on the coilover before you put it in the car. Considering this is the front that we're talking about right now, the compression ratio dampening is still available for access, so we don't need to worry about that right now. Preload, although you may not be able to spin this spring to some degree freely, but it's just not moving on the top pillow bowl. But that's okay. What we're talking about here is I'm going to then bring this coil adjustment up to the bottom, and you want it slightly free still, just to the point where it just moves freely and nicely. And then once you have that in place, then you bring your top lock nut up to the bottom here. Then you snug this up, and you no longer have to worry about preload settings. Do make sure to get this tight. It doesn't have to be atrocious, because there's enough pressure there that if you give it a good reef, it's not going anywhere. Remember, the entire weight of the car is on this thing. Do not go banana sandwich on these, because if you ever sell the coilovers, or if you try to adjust them yourself, you're gonna have a bad time. Not to necessarily the spring preload that I'm talking about, because you should never have to adjust this unless you're doing some funky, more in-depth shit, which is fine. You can adjust spring preload. That's a normal thing. I'm used to it. I've raced motocross for a lot of years. This is a very basic suspension setup for me. I'm used to spring rates, constantly changing out springs, compression ratios, and rebound dampening for suspension. So that's what you need to know before you bolt these things in your car.
Also, most high quality, like BC, and yeah, I know BC for sure, will have the preload set from the factory because it's car specific and they know what they're doing.
He's right, 100%. We are buying halfway medium coilovers here, so unfortunately you don't get certain things like that. So when you buy good products, you get good results. With BC, you know, it's still something that you should double check to be safe, but you can just throw them in the car. These, wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them like a Costco piece of toilet paper and stuff that you can just see right through. You just hold up one sheet and you can look right through it. I trust these as much as I trust those, but I know they're not gonna break on me. That's the important thing. I know they're not gonna break.
Hopefully.
All right, Nico, what'd you do?
So, another important thing to do when you're setting up coilovers is, obviously this spring is gonna be a lot stiffer than your stock spring. You can just tell this is much bigger than that one. So what you wanna do is when you get your new coilovers, they're gonna come like this, quite compressed and almost bottomed out on this, like the splines. So what you wanna do, unthread that a bunch so it kinda is the same length as your stock one. We're dropping this about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So this is about what, 2 inches, 1.5 inches here. So it's important to wind this down because you can just see the difference of all like stock, low, you're dragging your transmission out.
Yes. They only do this for shipping.
Yes, and the way you do that, loosen this lock collar right there, and then just thread this out, and just keep threading it out.
You can see the difference in, you could put this thing frame on the ground.
Yeah, easily. You could be ripping your headers out, even though that they don't even come that far out of the engine bay, you could rip your headers out.
All right, here we go. Ugh. Just putting together a freaking stance car. You want to put those nuts in up top there, Nico?
I guess I can.
Very much so appreciate that.
Oh, know what I just thought of?
What?
Oh wait, no, I'm just looking at the bolts for the strap bar. I'm pretty sure you'd still be able to.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I didn't know if we needed to for sure take that off because I seen that there was only one nut under there, but.
Well, I was more thinking about your, what's the dial on top? Is that rebound or?
That is compression.
Compression, okay.
Compression dampening.
Yes. I don't have coilovers on any of my cars.
Soon.
Maybe.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully.
But you know what? It's okay. Your car is cooler regardless, even in its stock form. It's a mint 280ZX.
It is not mint, but it's fun.
He's put in a shitload of work to make it look nice.
Yeah, all the work I have done is just not noticeable. But it'll be noticeable to the guy in 20 years that owns it, because it won't be rusted out.
And it'll be you that owns it.
Hopefully. All right, what else do you need to do down there? Oh my God.
Yeah, we had to fight to get this out last time, and now it's just like dummy low. So
that's where it has to go in, and we actually have to lift up the motor control arm.
Yeah, instead of trying to press it down.
All right, well, let's do that.
Time to throw the wheel on. Lower this thing down. Oh boy, this thing is gonna be... Nico, we might have made this too low.
I think so. That's the wheel gap. Oh man.
We'll see how stiff that preload really is, I guess. Oh boy.
Never put your lug nuts on by hand. Always, I'll go to dug them down.
Be a man.
Be a man. Don't use the torque wrench. Use the impact. Be a man.
Yes. Don't bother retapping a thread hole. Just impact it in. Be a man. That's fine.
Yep.
Test fit.
All right.
Let's go. God, this is... Ah!
James, stop!
Ah!
Oh my God. Here, let's take these out. All right, keep going.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Oh God. No! No! It's going back up. It's going back up. No.
Can you even get it off? Oh my God, you can't. Damn, dog. That's some fitment.
You know what? We're gonna measure it.
Yes. That is awesome. Wow. Half of Saskatoon's fitment. Oh my God.
Show me how close the lip is.
And we're not even off the jack. Like, that is finger. There's gonna be a lot more scratches on here.
Yeah. This car wouldn't...
Joke's on all you. This is the height we're keeping.
Yep, yep. We want to scrape on leaves.
Yes.
Not! The car is not staying like this. We're gonna measure. So we need to go up about 3/4 of an inch.
That's it?
We're gonna go up an inch.
Want to go up an inch?
Yeah.
We will show you how to do that. So, to raise up your coilover when it's in the car is very simple. All you have to do is, this was already loose, so it's a good thing that we took the tire off. But you want to crack this loose with one of your coilover wrenches. You just lock it in there, hammer it, get it loose. And then, depending on how messed up your threads are, you can usually turn it by hand. Sometimes you can't.
Where do you measure your desired height from?
Well, I like to measure it. So then say this is our desired height. You then spin this collar down, lock that down, take your measuring tape and go well, you can do it from either way as long as they're identical either side. So right now we're sitting at 3 inches from the top of this collar to the bottom of this collar. So say that's what you wanted your ride height to be, you go over to the other side, make sure this measurement matches, and then you lock everything down, put your tire back on, and good to go.
You go and wreck your shit.
Yes, very simple.
Trying to reach about your car's extended warranty. No, I'm just kidding. We're doing the back coilovers now. So what needs to happen is, because this is being converted to a true style coilover, that means that the coilover is now gonna sit here in a coilover strut assembly versus how the factory setup is, where it's a divorced strut and spring assembly. So now we are going to take this is called the spring bucket, because this is what houses the spring. This is what's gonna be removed, and the rear tow arm is gonna be installed from here to here. So that means we gotta take these bolts out, drop that out, put the tow arm in, take the strut out, bolt the coilover in, and then after that, we do that on both sides. I have to get my toe plates on the rear of the car, measure it out, make sure that the rear is perfectly square, and then button her back up, and we're all done. But I have to set the dampening first. So if you look here, I can't adjust this dampening after I put this coilover in. So I need to get those rods to adjust, to pop. You have to pop the hatch to be able to adjust the dampening, which I'm fine with, versus just having to take the coilover out to adjust it. Yeah. So we'll fix that. We'll show you how this thing drops out here in a second.
Yes.
Okay.
You should be careful. It does have tension. Nearly
I kept telling Nico, I was like, we should jack this up. This side has tension. He's like, oh, this side's fine. I was just like, oh, maybe I'm just crazy. So here I am. I'm just dugging this thing out of here. All of a sudden, wham! Spring just comes flying out and like dodges both of us. And I'm just like, we look at each other in the eyes. We're like, get the camera. So be careful.
Again, don't listen. Do as we say, not as we do.
Yes.
We are not professionals, far from.
What my recommendation would have been, just something as simple as like a jack stand under here. If you're doing this in the driveway, just a jack stand. Or put your car on jack stands, put your floor jack under it.
Yep. Don't listen to us.
Because if I would have been sitting here, I would have freaking Mike Tyson me.
All right, well. That is how not to do it.
Here's your spring bucket.
See you later, Stinky.
Yeah. Okay, so because this dampening adjustment is going to be temporarily buried up in the top of the car, inaccessible, I need to set this at what I think is going to be my most ideal setting. When time comes to get the long rods that are going to go into the trim inside the hatch of the car, all you have to do is, there's a nut below the adjuster here, and you just pull that off, and then you put your long rod inside here, and then it goes on top of the plastic strut brace. But that's not our case for the moment, so we're gonna have to put this nut on here, and I'm gonna tighten this up with a wrench, but I'm gonna set my settings. I like more of a driver, my butt is my driver essentially. I like to feel the car, it makes it more predictable. So I'm gonna go 4 notches to the hard side, and hopefully that does what I need it to. And I'm gonna get these rods on order. Honestly, I thought this kit was gonna come with it, but it's okay, we'll make do for now. All right, here we go. Right, okay, there we go. Whoa, Nico. Whoa, Nico, don't cross thread it. I like.
Beautiful. All right, now the other one. Oh, don't cross thread it. Don't cross thread it, Nico.
I've been trying to reach you, but your car's extended warranty. So next, we're setting up the rear tow arms that are replacing the spring buckets. These are adjustable, so you need to know how to adjust them. Nico,
very beautiful.
tell them how you adjust them.
All right, so basically, most like sway bar end links or toe arms or camber arms, a lot of different arms come with little threads like this on the end. This allows you to adjust them. So this side is fixed, will be fixed to the rear subframe, but you can twist this to lengthen it or shorten it to, depending on how much toe you want. So, good way, just like when you're setting up coilovers, get your stock coilover, your stock spring bucket, line up one end, which is the one end that will be fixed to the subframe, go up here and line up about as close as you can get this eyelet to this eyelet. Spin that until it's close, because these threads you see here are quite coarse. Now, once you get that close enough, take your lock nut, tighten it down. And then these threads up closer here are a lot finer. So these will be for your finer adjustments. Because I don't know how big these threads would be. Be like a difference between like a 32nd inch, like moving it out, and like a 1/16 of an inch. So it lets you fine tune your toe a lot more and gets rid of your stock spring bucket and saves weight. Looks very cool.
Which is gonna be key, because when I have this car at the track, for example, when I pull into the pits, I can just jack up the rear end, access the sway bar and rear toe arms. It's late at night.
It's like midnight. It is late.
Dude, no,
it's like 1. It is 1:06.
Yeah, it's 1:06.
Oh my god.
Time just flies in here, so
We dedicate too much time to cars.
a lot of time, but we love it. So apologies for word jumble, but the convenience of these toe arms are going to be very nice for small increment adjustments, as Niko was explaining.
Small adjustments make for big differences on the track.
Loose is fast, if you've seen Days of Thunder.
This is fast.
I used to race oval tracks, so I know that loose is fast. All right, we're just finishing up the toe arms here. So literally all you have to do is get these puppies put in here. I'll explain to you what to do with the washers. Bolts in stock location. These washers are extremely important to line up in the same orientation because they're an oblong washer. When these washers get adjusted, it would technically adjust the alignment. We can adjust the alignment with this now. All right, you guys. Well, it is the next day. I won't lie to you. You would have figured that out on your own because Niko's not here. We both actually ended up falling asleep on this small piece of carpet after just taking a 5-minute break, and we decided to pack her in and call it a night. But the install is done. The wheels are back on the car. This is the final ride height that I landed on. I didn't end up doing any finalization with the rear toe arms in the back because, well, big news, I have new wheels. So I didn't want to finalize any camber adjustments or toe adjustments in the rear or the ride height adjustment. I just got rough because I'm putting new wheels on the car. So once they're on the car, that's when we do our fine tuning. And I'm excited because I'm looking right at the wheels outside of the frame right now, and y'all can't see them, but I can see them, and I know it's gonna look really good. So if you like today's episode, make sure to like, subscribe, or just keep watching. I appreciate all the support. Here's a little peep of the new wheels. Woo! Watch the next episode, new wheels coming in hot. Sky's the limit, take things where you wanna go. And this is the legacy of the Forgotten Z, baby.